come back. It's time for your America's Most Haunted Headlines. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this.
Taking a family of 5 to the amusement park can cost a small fortune.
Oh, yeah. So to save some money, we thought, hey, let's bring the amusement park to us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, step right up, young man. Are you ready to ride the wacky waterfall?
That's just the bathtub with the shower head running.
Nope, it's the wacky waterfall.
It's the shower, Dad.
Waterfall.
Wacky.
There's an easier way to save. To get a free rate quote, go to geico.com. Then buy online, over the phone, or at your local Geico.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. My student loan is totally paid off.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either. I paid more than the minimum each month, and soon enough, it was gone.
So you're just giving up?
Giving up on what?
The life of luxury. Egyptian cotton, caviar Thursdays, designer everything.
What are you talking about?
Our plan. What happened to winning the lottery and mastering the art of the perfect mimosa? Hosting galas, wearing enough jewelry to require a bodyguard, vacationing in the French Riviera, and then buying it.
I just thought maybe it was time to prepare for my future. You know, set some financial goals, make some smart investments, open a 401k.
Financial goals? Investments? A 401k? You are horrifying right now. Listen, if winning the lottery were easy, everyone would do it.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
And welcome back to After Hours AM, everybody. I'm your host, Joel Sturgis, right along with me, like always,
Eric Olson.
Eric, man, it is time for America's Most Haunted Headlines, brought to you by America's Most Haunted. That's our super duper duper cool website where you can check out all the articles, check out upcoming shows, check out past shows, basically connect with us as well. Again, you know, a lot of big, great response to our newest co-host. That'd be Miss Heidi Hollis that joined me on Tuesday. We had a great show, of course. We kind of went all over the paranormal landscape. All that, including the D.B. Cooper show last night, are all up for download. Grab them, and tonight's episode will be up shortly after we're done airing this as well. So grab all those downloads, and if you haven't heard any, binge on them over the weekend. Binge away, my friends. Binge away.
And we had her as a guest on the show last Thursday, and that was lots of fun, very interesting. And she has a very nice sense of humor and keeps things balanced because, man, she's working in dark territory. She didn't have that sense of humor. I think she'd lose her mind.
I agree with you. I mean, you know, the shadow people thing is crazy stuff. It can be very scary, and you know, and we've all had those brushes with the odd and dark, but man, she seems to kind of have a little more than most.
I would say she has way more than most.
So, you know, she has that going for her. But that being said, if you are not a member of Twitter, or if you are a member of Twitter, it don't matter. Why don't you go on over to Twitter and search out AM Haunted. That's the official Twitter page of America's Most Haunted, After Hours AM Radio. And, of course, right there you can join and follow along with 464,000 other close friends right along with us. So be a part of that and follow along.
Yeah, it's all things paranormal, spooky, and amazement. And the other reason to go check it out on the site, not just listen to us, is because then you can see the pictures, because a lot of these are very visual. Plus, you can follow the links if we tweeted up an article, and on and on. All right, so here we go. All right, so I'm sure you've heard about, and I'm sure you've seen the picture of this weird, freakish little character. It
looks fake.
It really does. Mummy that was found in the Atacama Desert of Chile. Well, it has now been officially determined that it is a very heavily damaged in the womb, mutated human infant.
Well, first I feel sorry for this human infant, having to be that damaged and look that way, but it does make sense, and it is creepy. It really is.
Very, very creepy.
And they were trying to say it was a alien. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's an alien, or it's some sort of weird hybrid. No, it was just a very, very unfortunately damaged human infant who probably didn't live more than a day or two. They said it after birth.
I was a damaged infant as well, but that was for a whole nother reason.
I mean, this one has a weird, all kinds of oddities. Weird number of ribs. You got the very much enlarged head. Lots of problems.
A lot of issues, and it's very creepy looking, but also it's got a sad tale to go with it. That poor little fella or girl.
Yeah.
Girl or guy.
I think it's a girl. I think they determined it was also a girl.
Poor little child. That's kind of sad at the same time.
So if you check out twitter.com/AMHaunted, you can see an actual picture of what we're talking about. This strange little, figure.
Craziness, man. Craziness.
All right, and this winter has just been madness, and it's still going, even though technically we're in spring.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Look at the density of that snowfall from Frankfurt, Germany.
That is pretty thick snow right there. There is definitely some flakage going on.
That is coming down. It's a really cool picture. It looks almost like a Jackson Pollock.
Yeah, it does. It kind of does. That, or it looks like a really, really bad Head and Shoulders commercial.
Yeah,
do you have flaking going on?
Wow. I mean, that is densely packed. You can barely see through. There's two figures kind of running, it looks like, or they're hunched against the wind and the weather, and they're on either a road or something. But it is very hard to see, but it's a really cool picture.
It sure is fun, though, when we get snow like that around here. It's actually kind of enjoyable once in a while.
Well, it's fun to play,
but then
it can go away.
Yeah, then it can go away, but then what comes with it is horrible roads, higher heating bills, all that kind of good stuff in wintertime. So it can go away quite quickly. That'd be awesome.
Sliding off the road.
Mm-hmm. Good times.
Calls from your 18-year-old daughter at 3 a.m.
Oh, you've had that happen to you, I hear. Interesting. Was she go in the ditch or something?
Right in the ditch.
In the ditch. And she's 18, young driver. That does happen, unfortunately, though. It's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you.
Everyone. It happens to everyone.
Yep.
That was not her fault. It was just unfortunate. All right, have you heard of this service called Movie Zoot?
No. Tell me all about Movie Zoot.
Movie Zoot is just yet another streaming service, and they are featuring right now some classic late 50s, early 60s kind of what they call Z movies, which just means, they were C movies at the time, and
now they really suck. Yeah.
Well, they've become, shall we say, cult classics.
That is true. I mean, I suppose like the Tingler and other kind of movies would kind of fall into that. The 1950s.
Carnival of Souls is certainly considered a classic.
Yeah.
It is creepy.
Did you ever see the movie Freaks, though?
Oh, yeah.
Even to this day, that really weirds me out.
Sure. Well, you know how much that influenced that season, the Carnival season of American Horror.
Oh, yeah.
Freak show, I should say.
Yeah, quite a bit. And that movie, though, I mean, they used at that time, actual sideshow performers.
Oh, they did.
I mean, it was no holds barred.
They weren't people pretending to be freaks.
They were freaks. Yeah, they're the real deal, the genuine article. No makeup involved.
Very creepy. Yeah, that was Todd Browning?
That was in 1950s or early 60s?
Oh, I think it was even...
It was pretty old. It was pretty old, yeah. So
anyway, of these films, they are streaming on Movie Zoot. If you're a horror buff, you may want to go check it out and just check out Movie Zoot.
Sure.
It's moviezoot.com. These 4 films are Circus of Fear, The Day of the Triffids. That's another kind of a classic. I Bury the Living, and then by far the best of the lot is Carnival of Souls, which I just saw recently, and it is still very, very creepy. It's low-budget movie. It's black and white, but man, It is very disconcerting. It's actually one of the better.
It holds up, is what you're saying.
It does. It holds up well.
Yeah, well, one thing really quickly before we move on to speaking about movies, I saw Zach Bagans' new movie, Demon House.
Right. How is it?
I have mixed feelings on it. It wasn't the most horrible show I've seen ever, and it wasn't the best ever, but there's some, you kind of have to suspend your belief at some points. Of wanting to question further, because this all centers around the Gary, Indiana house that he'd bought that was allegedly home to 200, not one, but 200 demons. And how do you fit them in there? There's anyone's guess, man. I'm not sure. I guess a shoehorn and Vaseline, that'd be about the only way you can get them all in there. But then, of course, after it's all said and done, and the movie's running, and of course, the thrills and chills and the storytelling. Really no paranormal investigation to speak of in this movie, by the way. I was surprised. Very, very little. In the end of the movie, it shows them tearing down the house, and the reason why he tore it down, other than grabbing a few artifacts for his own museum, is so nobody would ever endure the demon house.
Well, I guess he claimed to have had pretty horrifying experiences.
That's
there.
what he
Did
says.
Talk about that in the movie?
He did talk about a little bit, and of course he really focused upon the family that was there at that time, that lived there before he bought the home, and then of course their children were allegedly possessed by demons. And I guess the best hook of the movie is it wasn't him saying it. It was actual police, it was social workers, doctors, all sorts of people that you would expect would not make up a tale like that, all vouching that they saw, wall walking and speaking in foreign languages they didn't know, things like that. So really, if you got time to kill, you want to kill an hour and a half of your life, there's worse ways to do it. So,
Well, I will definitely be checking it out. Follow the career of good old Zach.
It was available on YouTube up until recently, till someone pulled it down. But I do believe you got a screener link, didn't you?
Yes.
I did not get that link, so if you want to forward me that link at some point.
I think I'll whip that on you.
Yeah, that way you can see the unadulterated one. The one that doesn't have all the, little bleeps and boops that they like to put on YouTube. So anyhow, moving along, let's go on to the cookbook. It looks like we got cookbook going.
This comes from an interesting article in Atlas Obscura of all kinds of old school cookbooks that this author, this woman, I think, have collected. And her favorite is her Dracula cookbook. But think about it. Dracula drinks blood.
Yes, he does. I don't see him cooking.
He doesn't spend a lot of time, whipping things up in the kitchen.
I've never seen Dracula stay around a hibachi grill.
Never, not once. So what it turns out the book really is it's recipes from Transylvania.
Interesting. Okay, I would imagine they'd have some pretty good dining experiences there. Pretty good food.
I think it's pretty similar to Hungarian food, so lots of paprika.
Never mind, you're right. Hungarian food does rely a lot on paprika.
Good old paprika.
And it's not bad. Paprika isn't bad.
No, it's a spice
it's
I
a
like.
good spice, as far as spices go. It's not the spiciest, but it's good.
It's a good mid-level spice.
It's no lemon pepper, but it is pretty good.
You realize that lemon pepper is merely a blend of lemon and pepper.
Oh my God, you're blowing my mind over here. I never would
Did
put
you know
that together. Yeah, I kind of thought that by the name, lemon pepper.
There's a clue.
But, they kind of blended together, and it's tasty. I'll give them that. The makers of lemon pepper. It's a tasty.
They chose their name well.
They did. They did choose their name very well.
Chose wisely.
I'm an amateur chef in the kitchen, by the way. I pride myself on being really a pit master. I love barbecuing food.
I like barbecuing.
I make a Texas pulled pork better than anyone I've ever met. If I do say so myself.
Well, I do know how to barbecue. I'm not a very good cook, but I'm a pretty good barbecuer. Not bad.
That's all you need to know right there.
My wife just hands it to me. So it's not like I've formulated anything. She just hands it and says, cook it.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what goes on for me with the barbecue is they get it ready, I throw in the grill, and I act like it's a big deal, but all it is flipping a piece of meat. I mean, come on. Let's just be honest.
That's so true. So true.
Yeah.
But I do keep a close eye on it.
Oh,